Hi you guys, it's Spirit. Thank you for joining me on this day. To start off, I hope you guys watched the last two videos, and if you didn't, please go watch the last two videos so that you can kind of understand the timeline to where I am right now. I was 17 years old. I had a baby girl. She was about 5 months old, and I had a friend who was like a sister, and she became my best friend. Juanita was 16 years old. She was a very thin girl. She was very beautiful with long, jet black, beautiful hair. She's more like a tomboyish, but she finally found someone that she liked it, and she finally started dating. She stood by my side throughout my pregnancy. She was the only person that I had that I could talk to and that I could depend on. She was very reliable. I loved her. I spent a lot of my time at Juanita's house and with her mother. Her mother would watch my baby girl while I went to school, and Juanita would watch her when I went to work. So I had a lot of support. After I had my daughter, Juanita started dating. One day I was over at the house. I had an appointment to take my daughter to the doctor, so we all three was going to take my daughter to the doctor. So we was really excited, which is myself, Juanita, and her mother, and that she was so excited about it. He was a little bit older than her, and that she was afraid to tell her mom, but she really liked the guy. I told her to tell her mom. He told me that the guy was like much older than her. I thought, oh my God, you should tell your mom, you know? And when she decided to tell her mom told her that she was not allowed to see this person because he was basically a grown man, and that she was still too young, and that, you know, she didn't want her to get pregnant, and, you know, she went through the phase of talking to her daughter. But Juanita was telling her mom, I'm in love, I love this guy. So, you know, one day she came home with flowers, and the mom was thinking, okay, but maybe this guy not too bad, maybe, you know, everything's okay. Then Juanita came home one day with a brand new jacket, and she always came home with money. So her mom started getting worried and was saying that you're too young for all of this, and that she is going to have to do something about this because she just feel like she should not be dating this person. One day, Juanita didn't come home. She stayed out overnight. Oh my God, all hell broke loose. Her mom told her that was it. Can't see this guy anymore. I'm not going to allow you to see this guy no more. If you see him again, I'm going to press charges on him. Basically was being disobedient. She still was seeing the guy. She would tell her mom she going to a party and she was with the guy. She would tell her mom she going out with friends and she was with the guy. So one day, you know, me and her had a talk, and I told her that I know that she really, really liked this guy, but I don't want her to get in trouble with her mom, and that maybe she shouldn't see this guy. But she said this guy really, really cares about her. He loves her. It got to the point where she wasn't even going to school like she was supposed to. She basically started missing school. It got to the point where I didn't even see her as much. And then one day, she was at the house, and I was there. And she was happy to see the baby, and she told me that she was sneaking off to see this guy, and I told her that I was going to tell her mother. We got into a fight. We physically fought. We were rolling on the floor. We fell off the couch. We beat each other up. She beat me up. I beat her up. Basically, she was mad at me because I said I was going to tell, and I was mad with her because I felt like she's not going to school. She's staying out all night. You know, she came over to my house. One particular evening, it had this package. It was real small and square. It was made out of aluminum foil package. And when she opened it, it basically had cocaine inside of it, drugs. I was like, oh my God, no. She's like, oh no, it just makes you feel good, takes you away from things. It's not gonna hurt you. And I was like, oh no. if you're going to do drugs, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to be around you anymore. You're not going to be able to be around my daughter. And I said, oh, I'm going to go tell your mother. I can't do this. I can't deal with this no more. So I decided to tell her mom that she was still seeing a guy and now she's doing drugs. Well, Juanita was really, really upset with me. But she didn't say, oh, I'm never going to speak to you again. We're never going to be friends. She was just saying that I'm supposed to have her back. She was disappointed in me. You know, and her mom can't stop her from seeing this man. Once I told her mom that she was using the drugs, her mom had her, from what I remember, I'm not going to say a mental ward, but it was a place where people was bringing harm to themselves. Juanita had threatened that if she couldn't see this man, that she was going to kill herself if she can't see him. So the mom had her, she called me and said, hey, I need you to come see me. My mom had me locked up and this is where I'm at. So I goes to the hospital to see her, and when I went to go see her, she was just bubbly, all smiles. She was like, I'm so happy to see you. She was like, this is crazy. She got me locked up because she doesn't want me to see this boyfriend. I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to do drugs anymore. I was just trying them out. Why did you tell on me? And I said, I'm sorry, but I had to because I felt like I didn't want nothing to happen to you. I just felt like I needed to do something. And she said, well, I still love you. I'm glad you came to see me. So we talked and we laughed, and she said, well, I'm going to see my boyfriend one more time, and I'm going to tell him that I can't see that she won't be able to date at 18. So she said, I'm going to ask him to wait for me. And I said, yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. If he truly loves you, he'll wait. Well, one night, her mom called me and said, hey, have you seen Juanita? And I said, no, I haven't seen her. And she says, well, she haven't come home. I said, well, I have not seen her. So I proceeded to pack up my baby, and we headed over to the house. And her mom called the police, told the police that her daughter didn't come home, called her brother and said, hey, your sister didn't come home. And I was saying to myself, okay, she's just being mischievous. She's being mean. It's going to come back and everything's going to be okay. So I was just on the couch and I was just rocking my baby and I was rocking her. And I just felt like, oh my God, this is going to be a bad situation, because the mom was furious, all right? It had got late and I had to go to work the next morning. So I left and I went home. And I told her mom to call me when Juanita gets home, so that I know everything's okay. When I got home, I tossed and I turned most of the night. My baby girl kept crying. She wouldn't stop crying. I kept rocking her. I was like, why you keep crying like this? And my baby girl at the time, normally she cried when she got hungry, but she didn't do a continuously cry all the time. She just was crying. She would not stop. I finally got her to go to sleep, and I laid down and I fell asleep. All of a sudden I felt this sharp pain in my back, and I fell out my bed, and the pain was gone. It wasn't there no more. And I said, wow, what the heck was that? And I fell so hard that I ended up waking my baby. So my baby was woke and crying again. And while I'm rocking my baby, I get a phone call. Juanita's little brother. And he says, hey, you need to come over to the house. I said, okay. He said, yeah. I got to the house. Hurry. There were so many people there. I'm thinking to myself, what is going on? That Juanita had been murdered. That the man that she was seeing, she tried to leave. Told him that she couldn't stay, she had to go home. And he reacted and shot her in her back. And she fell down some stairs. And she was gone. Her mother was devastated. There was no words for the screams and hollers. Her mom cried so terrible. It was terrible. Her mom cried so much. I was in shock. I was disappointed. And I was hurt. And then what's so crazy is all the chaos was going on. How we found out that she knew that the man that she was seeing killed her, he called her. He called her mother and said, I just killed your daughter. I'm sorry. I called the police. And I just wanted you to know that I didn't mean to kill her. She tried to leave. I didn't want her to leave. And I was so upset. Next thing you know, I grabbed the gun and I shot her in the back. Juanita was her mother's only daughter. She was the only sister. She had 2 brothers. And I was her best friend. And my daughter was I lost my second best friend. I lost the first one because I became pregnant at 16 and she no longer wanted to be my friend. And my second best friend was murdered by someone that she fell in love with. After Juanita's funeral, her mother became very attached to my daughter. She spent a lot of time with my daughter, but I still didn't talk to her son. I didn't have anything to do with him. It was just a devastating, it was just an awful thing for Juanita to be murdered, for that family. And it was just and every time I saw the mom, I thought about Juanita. Oh, it was just Juanita's too much. Mom still continued helping me raise. As my daughter got older, she started having the personality as her aunt, where she basically acted just like her. Thanks for watching.